So obviously there's a lot of talk about who could be the next Manchester United manager if Erik Ten Hag is to get his marching orders. The odds look like this. It's Zinedine Zidane at the top of the list. Can you cast your eyes down to the bottom there? Because there's so much on Steve Nicol now. Thanks to our esteemed colleague, Dan Thomas. 500 to 1. This is a fact.
Save your money.
So anyway, Zinedine Zidane at the top of that list. I suppose there are two questions here, Mark, in who could and who would. But who would you actually like to see United go for?
Well, first of all, I think with Stevie, let's be honest, the Glazers like to do things on the cheap, but I don't think he could buy him out of his ESPN contract, so we can forget about that. I mean, the problem that United have got right now, I mean, one of the many problems they've got is that there isn't an obvious candidate that's waiting for a job. I mean, there's nobody out there right now. You think there's no Thomas Tuchel available or Pochettino. They've got jobs, so they have to be imaginative. And the Glazers and Richard Arnold haven't got the imagination to find a coach. So I suppose we're waiting there for the new regime of Jim Ratcliffe, whenever that happens, a 25% stake and then taking over the football side of it, whenever they come in to make a decision. But there's nobody right now you can say, yeah, you know, he's got potential. I mean, the one coach in Europe that right now is a rising star that has got potential is Xabi Alonso, but he's not going to go to Man United. I mean, he's an ex-Liverpool player, he's a Liverpool great. There's no way he's going to Man United. So they've got a problem. But, you know, they're going to stick with Ten Hag for the foreseeable future because they've got other issues to address, as we know, with the takeover and all that kind of carry on. So he's there. He has to sort the defence out. And I agree with what Robbo said before about the whole nature of the team. The team is too slow, it's too mobile, doesn't defend as a team. But I do think that the game seems to have lost the art now of defenders defending. You know, we go back to the old Arsenal team with the Arsenal back four and George Graham and these type of managers where they got the defence, the back four sorted out. And then from that platform, you can build a team that defends. Nobody seems to do that anymore. Everyone seems to want to attack, and it seems to have created defenders who can't do the basics, and that's what United have got. They've got a lot of defenders who can't do the basics, but Ten Hag is the manager that's paid to do the job of organising them, so he has to find a way. And maybe that's what's keeping him a job as well, the fact that there isn't anybody obviously out there that will take the job. Roberto De Zerbi, would he leave Brighton to go to Man United right now without knowing who his boss is, who the next boss might be? I just don't see it appealing to any top managers.
So you say he's sticking around for the foreseeable future, and that's what it looks like, Mark. But if it's losses to Luton and then Everton, is that still the case?
Well, he's safe until he's not safe, isn't he? I mean, if you lose at home to Luton and then go to Everton and don't win, I think it becomes inevitable that they have to make a change. But who is out there to take it on? I mean, that is the problem. That what they've done in the past, they've gone for the easy option, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer figured that he's so desperate to work for the club again that he will go back. But even then, there aren't many ex-United players out of work right now that want a job. You know, Wayne Rooney's got a job, Michael Carrick's got a job, and that's the sort of character that they'll be looking at because they've got recent history with the club. So it's a really kind of worrying situation for United because there's nobody available, and the so-called former players that they would normally go down that route, that again, you know, they're in jobs or that, you know, they're not available. So I mean, Solskjaer's still available, so, you know, he might come back, but, you know, that's a bit of a backward step, isn't it? Maybe Stevie's the right guy, actually. Maybe
that's
Stevie
what I mean.
is the actual...
It's a process of elimination at this point, isn't it? So if it was Stevie Nicol, Robbo, would you like to be his assistant and play bad cop?
I'll tell you what, Robbo and I can sort it out.
No, I couldn't work with Stevie Nicol. I mean, it'd just be a mess, wouldn't it? Me and him in charge. Good gracious.
I've seen Stevie Rig
What a bigger mess than it already is.
I've seen Stevie Rig leaves. Given Stevie's leaf-raking abilities, I'm not sure I'd put a wager on him managing Manchester United either.
He'd get morale up there, though, wouldn't he?
Oh, good. I'm not so sure here.
All right, Robbo, who would you like to see in this role? Who do you think would be a good fit if they were able to get them?
Oh, I mean, unfortunately, 2 years ago, I'd have said Antonio Conte because he was guaranteed almost to win things, and he was playing some good football. But the last couple of jobs he's had, he's gone ultra defensive, so he's not the man. I still think that Nagelsmann could be a top-class manager. It depends how he does with Germany, obviously, but he's a manager that I think's got a lot of ability and an up-and-coming manager, because that's really what you would like. And I would agree with Mark. If Xabi Alonso, he's the man that everybody's talking about at the moment. If he was available, he'd be the excellent choice, but he's not available.
Yeah, well, actually, Dan Thomas did put out a Twitter poll today as well. He's been pretty busy with this whole topic, Dan. He asked, would you like to see Steve Nicol as the next United manager? The two options were yes and yes. It was a unanimous decision. 100% of people would like to see this, Stevie. So the people have spoken.
Oh, well, I guess I can make a couple of phone calls if I must. If I need to.
So there you go. You heard it from the man himself, Mark. You need to put that news out there in Manchester while you can. Stevie Nicol is the next Manchester United manager. Love
Just
that
the man
one.
for the job.